Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Tabla Rosa, aka La Roza Negra, or Black Rose if you're nasty, and welcome to another episode of the Roze Garden. I am joined by. Care to introduce yourselves, or should I do it?
You host.
As,
I guess
we got two different energies. Where am I going here? It's Virgo season. I need my itinerary.
No Virgo over here. It's all Scorpio. But my name is Kay
Gang,
Scorpio. Gang. My name is Kay Scorpio. I am a black woman living in America. I was born in Germany. I am a passionate person about certain people. Maybe a little bit too passionate, but we will see how the rest of this goes. So,
not this.
Hi.
Too passionate. There ain't no such thing as too passionate.
I mean, I could. There's one recent story I could tell that I'm not going to put on the podcast necessarily, but yeah, I can.
All I will say is there's a reason.
That was a warning.
There's a reason I maintain she is our resident Beyonce expert.
Yeah, I mean, it's that, but it also has to deal with another celebrity. You know how, like, you fall in love with celebrities and you're like, oh my God, they're my husband, they're my bae, and for the second time, another male celebrity has broken my heart, and I've cried about it, and I'm like, why am I crying about someone I don't know? So there's my.
We'll talk about that later, because I want to know who it was, but wait,
you
okay.
already know who it was.
Is it in regards to cancellation? Did they get canceled and do something stupid, or?
Oh no, it's not cancellation. Not in regard to that. Not at all.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it later.
Go dig into that one.
Yeah.
No one here is a stranger to Josh. Josh is in our.
What's up?
Actually, Josh got a whole centerpiece because Kay and I are side by side at the top. Josh is sitting on the bottom like, I'm here. What? I'm here, bitch.
What's up? How's it going, y'all? I know it's Josh, aka I'm joshing you. What's happening?
That is, in fact, our dear. Pronouns are he, they for Josh, so keep it cute, keep it classy. I believe Kay goes by she, her.
Yes.
And my pronouns, as always, are oh no, run away, are always acceptable. And today we're gonna be talking more so about how do we wanna I'm gonna just give you the title because I was gonna try and put some little pizzazz on it, but I feel like the title is well summed up, and I did a good job. I'm trying to outdo myself consistently, but it's hard. It's
levels.
Today's episode is entitled Adaptive versus Invasive Species, Accountability in the Modern Age and Cancel Culture. Now, pretty fucking much. That's a wide title. It's an all-consuming genre in and of itself, because I feel like this could be its own category of podcast because so many different people have done so many different things, the changing of modern times, the era. But before we get into all of that, P.S. motherfucking A. Some people deserve to be canceled. Much more, P.S. motherfucking A part 2. Some people didn't need to be started in the first place.
That part.
Just because someone's entertaining doesn't always mean they need a platform. And right. Just because they have a platform doesn't mean they deserve to be listened to. Maybe I'm being a bit audacious here because I am also saying this while trying to build my own platform. But I like to think that I'm going to put myself in a position where my words have some semblance of value, even if I am shitposting, and I'm not always right. I'm not always perfect. I'm going to consistently grow, and I'll hold myself accountable. I know there's certain stuff. I just put out a tweet recently that I know is an admittedly bad take. Am I going to delete it? No, because I meant what I said. But
honestly, that runs me into mind. P.S. motherfucking A. If you said it, you meant it.
Facts.
Own that shit.
No, seriously.
Own that shit. It was really that bad. Take some accountability. That's it. But if you said it, your ass meant it.
Exactly.
The only accountability I will take in what I said is that maybe I probably just didn't need to be a tweet because there was a better way to express this thought, and maybe 280 characters wasn't enough to get all the nuances. But I said it. I meant it. There ain't no going back now. And I'm not deleting it, so cope.
You see, you're going to deal.
That's it.
What you got for us, Cap? You gotta say it with your chest, though. You gotta really.
All right, so are we starting the conversation then?
No, your PS motherfucking A.
PSA. What's your
Oh,
PSA?
I don't. My PSA is believe people when they tell you who they are the first time.
Come on, Maya Angelou. Hold on.
Come on, Maya.
Like when people get upset about like, oh, what the hell is her name?
Roseanne Barr?
Roseanne. Yeah. When they all got upset about, her saying the various things that she said. It's so many that she said Obama was like, a Muslim and all this other stuff. And everybody was like, oh my God, I'm so surprised she has this attitude. I'm like, she ruined the United States anthem on purpose. Are y'all really that shocked by her attitude towards Black people of color in general? Like, how are y'all shocked by her behavior?
Not just shocked,
paying
but
attention
appalled.
to her in the early 90s, and I knew she was a whole mess and a half. I never knew. Like, go back to your nut farm in Hawaii.
As a millennial, I didn't know. I didn't know who she was. I'm like, who? Because it's not like she was pertinent to any. I don't recall her being pertinent to any aspect of my 20-something years of life.
I mean, I'm a millennial as well, and I am a bit older than you, which is fine. But I used to watch her show as a kid. I'm not. That's not a flex. Please understand, that's not a flex. That's not me. Like, yeah, I'm older than all of y'all. Y'all should know better. No, but that is just I used to watch her TV show as a kid. It was something that we did with my grandmother on Sundays or whenever that show came on, and it was a cute little thing up until it got into some dicey areas, and then all of a sudden we couldn't watch that show anymore. And my grandmother found something else for us to watch. So it was just I'm a little bit more familiar with her.
I love the fact that Granny was all like, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, it was the same thing with Xena. The minute Xena kissed her best friend.
That was
that was it.
That was it.
She was like, oh, no, we didn't watch Xena after that.
Sad days. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Those are two different things entirely. But I get it. At least there was monitoring. And
yeah.
I think that also that ties into this conversation, too. The monitoring of the content consumed, because a lot of cancel culture again circles back to that whole giving people platforms things, but also expecting people with a platform to be role models.
I think it loops it back into. I mean, let's look at WAP, that song, right?
I'm talking WAP.
Like, look at everyone saying, "Oh, I don't feel like she should have been making that song," and she straight up said, "Listen, I'm not your kid's parents.
Fuck them kids.
That's your job. That's your job." She wouldn't even let her own kids listen to the song because she knew she was like, I don't want somebody listening talk about.
She was on live when her daughter walked in the room.
Right? She was like, not today.
No, baby, you gotta go.
Not my kid. Not my kid.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know what I'm saying? Like, she realized that because we all grown. We have that realization. Like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, a 5 and 6-year-old don't need to listen to this. No. Possibly, potentially. I don't know.
And how much thinking does it really take to have that one simple stream of consciousness? Okay, maybe, just maybe we're gonna put this aside. You should be watching like Zoo Pals, bitch. What? I don't know. I don't consume kid media no more, but
yeah, like Dexter.
Like, if you even need adult jokes, Disney. Like, you got plenty of them.
Little slide in quick in there, get introduced to it casually before you get the full on description of what exactly happens.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so
go on.
It's just nuts to see the, like, there's a person I just learned about who's already been kicked off of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I think his name is Andrew Tate. Yeah. Good
riddance.
Just finding out who this man is, and I'm like, why is he getting canceled? And then I'm looking at the stuff that he's talking about, and I'm like, oh.
Why wasn't he canceled sooner?
Yeah, like, why wasn't he canceled sooner? 2, you deserve to get canceled.
Okay.
He was saying out-of-pocket shit with his whole chest. Like,
true.
He was about it. Like,
literally, his whole chest was out. No shirt, no nothing. Just this
nothing.
really weird tattoo. And he was like, if she's not hot, I'm not performing CPR.
No, seriously, straight up, R&B nigga in the range is loud and wrong. Oh!
In the desert, with the shirt open, with the random
Wind
wind
blowing,
coming.
just...
Yeah, with the random wind, and he's like, women don't deserve rights. They're made to be property. Like, huh?
And I feel like he said a lot of that stuff to be incendiary, which I suppose we got to backtrack a little bit. Let's all make sure we're on the same page, or if not the same page, that we're providing our own clear definitions of what we digest cancellation to be. Okay. I will start. So for me, canceling means actively fucking up your bag. You are in a position now where you have jeopardized your career on a social basis, a literal basis in terms of like if you getting fired or so, or at the very least, you're in a really bad position and you need to figure out how you're going to recover from this, and it's a make or break situation. And am I missing anything here? I don't think so. Kay?
I would agree to that definition. Also, if sort of backtracking to the Andrew Tate thing, if you're intentionally like saying things that you know is not going to be socially acceptable, like the Andrew Tates, like the Kevin Samuels, like, you know, those types of things. So if you are you knowingly saying these things and you are either saying it with your whole chest or trying to backtrack it, you know, that to me deserves some sort of cancellation, because you're just being extremely wrong and very damaging to the group of people that you're talking about.
Right.
So that's for me is part of what you said, and then that's my part of what cancellation to me means. So you're just very intentional about who you want to hurt.
Josh?
I think an additional piece of that is like sometimes the aspects of cancel culture that impact good things that are trying to happen. So that kind of that accountability or consequences in real form. So if you think about how someone may have a certain amount of social capital, but another group who builds up a rise out of people that galvanizes people with one thought to kind of build a higher reign of power to say, okay, we're going to remove this person's social capital so that way they can, you know, either suffer the consequences or no longer have a platform with us. You think of things like such as Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick got canceled, right? It's not necessarily a negative form of cancellation like a lot of us would think, but he got canceled. Dude is not getting any more NFL contracts. Like, it's just not going to happen. No. It's just not. It's not going to happen because of what he did. Now, granted, he's getting other stuff and building awareness for things, but he got canceled.
Right.
For doing something that, for most of us on this panel, would say, oh, yeah, it was a good thing. Like, stand up.
Stand up for what he believes in.
Right. He got canceled.
Call me a bad person. Win, lose, or draw. As much as I may not agree with you and I think you're full of shit, I may even want to kick your ass for what you're saying. If you stand on what you believe in, I'm not mad at you for that specifically. I might be mad about what you're saying, but I'm not mad at you for standing what you believe in. Now, to that same breath, stand 10 toes on what you're saying, because usually at the point when you're getting canceled, it's because people are holding you accountable for the words that are coming out of your mouth. Like you said, Colin Kaepernick got canceled because people heard what he said, and he actually was adamant about what he was saying, and people are like, I don't really like that. I don't really fuck with that. Now,
yeah.
Do I agree that he should have been canceled in that regard? No. Did it happen? Yes. Are we, like... where did that put us within the zeitgeist now to understand what canceling is? Because people have now began to understand canceling as, ooh, don't say anything wrong, you're gonna get canceled. Don't touch the gays, you're gonna get canceled. I'm like, first of all, the
concept of cancellation now is so surface level. It's not even an aspect of actual accountability. It's simply I'm going to air you out so everyone can see.
No,
it's
seriously.
Now take yourself out of that hole. That's it. That's what cancel culture is now. Is I'm gonna air you out. You're now in that hole. Dig yourself out. Because how many different people, we can go through a whole list of people that still somehow have platforms, still are making money. Like, we can go through a whole list of damn, like we're probably all guilty of listening to certain people's music still, even though we know what they did.
Still, I am struggling to put Chris Brown out of my playlist, but I simply cannot. I am a hypocrite in that sense, because I'm like, Bill Cosby absolutely needs to be canceled. R. Kelly, for damn sure, needs to be canceled. But I'm still listening to Chris Brown.
Trey songs. Like, I don't actively listen to them, but they do cycle through back to my music. I'm just like, damn, this is a good song.
Damn, it's a good song.
Right.
Damn Chris Brown for having that new song come out that I still have not listened to.
I've not heard it either. I didn't even know he had a new song. That's where I'll say I'm good about holding myself accountable to holding these people accountable. Like, if I know you're supposed to be canceled, I'm gonna just stop checking for you. But if I happen to find out and it just so happens to cross my earways, that's not my fault.
Like,
I'm gonna jam out for a little 2 minutes.
I can't help if I put it on repeat a couple of times. You know, I just.
Not the repeat. Oh no!
My finger slipped. Oops.
My finger slipped. It just hit the thing where it repeats, and it just repeats the one song. I'm sorry, but like, I am guilty of that one bit of hypocrisy when it comes to Chris Brown, because of what he did to Rihanna and what he continues to do to women in general.
A long list of women.
Just a long list of women, but it's like, he makes such good music. Like, how do I stop myself from listening? I was just listening to Love in the Club, not Love in the Club, but it was a song he did with Usher and Rick Ross. And I had that.
You gonna be my baby? That one?
Yes, that one. Yeah.
New Flame, I think is it, or something like that.
I was like, damn, I should not be listening to this. I shouldn't. Like, I stopped listening to V2K. I was listening to. Was it Bump Bump Bump? I think it was Bump Bump Bump. And I was like, oh yeah, baby, turn around. And then I remembered he said Pied Piper, and I was like, fuck.
Yep.
Fucking hell. I cannot believe I cannot listen to this
hold on. I want to put in a little interjection, or maybe a personal rule that may help you out. I don't say everybody has to do this. It works for me. I realize, and it's a disgusting and unfortunate fact, Piss Kelly has had several different... No, because call it what it is. Call it what it is.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
He has had his hand involved in several different successful, not even just like, not a feature, not a feature, not it being his track and him bringing them on, just production, lyricism, mentorship, anything. He's had his hand in too many different successful. We're not even going to talk about the people who didn't necessarily pop off. Successful artists' careers. So to try, like, you just won't be listening to music at that point, and it's an unfortunate fact. And it's not just him. It's
Well, he affected too. I mean, let's think about Leah.
Right.
Like,
I still need my heart like fire. No, you gonna leave my Aaliyah alone. But am I not also? Am I boycotting age ain't nothing but a number? Yes, because I understand what that's about now. Specifically, that song I won't listen to because it's just like, you know, maybe not that one, but
like.
I'm going through my reading of the resolution. I'm definitely writing my 4-page letter, and I'm gonna enclose it with a kiss. The fuck? No, stop it.
So there's that hypocrisy that I have for Chris Brown. I won't listen to R. Kelly. I will not listen to. I haven't listened to Trey songs in a very long time. Even before all of his mess came out, I just was like. He's one of those singers that cries too much for me, but that's another topic. But yeah, I haven't listened to Trey songs in a very long time.
You gonna say that, and Tyrese is right there.
Tyrese is on that list too.
Congratulations. What do you want from me?
What do you want from? Yeah, but like not crying in the sense of like actual tears, because I won't pick on. I
give Tyrese a pass because Tyrese be giving us good old fashioned R&B music, like grown R&B.
Yeah, he does, but it's like
but just like shut up and make the music.
Yeah, like stop it.
But also, I feel like he didn't get canceled, but I feel like he should have, or at least gotten a timeout for like the scene or the moment when he was on live with old girl. Please tell me y'all know what I'm talking about, because if I gotta describe it, I'm about to be very sad.
No.
Yes, he was in the bathroom with old girl. We'll say helping her groom.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I completely
Like
put that out of my mind.
He was on Instagram Live.
You did that live?
Yes.
Lord, why could I have not found my Latrice fan today? Oh my God. I didn't know he did that live. I thought it was recorded already.
No, baby, that was on live. And he was sitting there like he was listening to classical music. His fucking napkin tuck just
like nothing was wrong with this picture at all. Like this is normal. This is a regular day. And Tyrese is just
you would have thought this man was a surgeon. He was so focused. Well, let's not dwell here, because we've gotten somewhat, like, we're still on topic, but this is a tangent. What brought us to today's discussion allows us to take a brief tangent, a brief moment to celebrate the queen that's in Kay's background, because we're actually recording this on B-Day, because happy birthday to the queen. Obviously, she is 41 today at the time of this recording.
The queen.
I'm just gonna say this for the people who want to catch it first, because sometimes I love to have the avid readers in class. I love to shout out a star student as a former star student, because college got me and proved that I'm stupid. My brain is fried. But what do Heated and Girls have in common?
Heated and Girls from Destiny's Child?
No. Girls from Lizzo.
Oh, girls. Oh.
And there's your hint already, because I'm not ready.
Cancellation.
A nice little word.
Yeah.
A nice little word that none of us knew until the Lizzo situation was a slur.
Well, like, I kind of knew, because, like, it was awkward the way I found out about it. I actually found out about it because of the 4. I was enjoying and actually reciting the lyrics from one of Sharea's verses from, again, the 4. She was doing a freestyle to, I think it was I Don't Fuck With You by Big Sean. And essentially the line went as follows. You ain't seen how I spazzed on the show on the last episode and the last episode. Problem was, I'm sitting here screaming this at the top of my lungs as I'm walking down, because she ate. She was killing the game that entire season. There's a reason why she sat down and didn't get back up. But it's weird being called out by a white woman in a wheelchair, because in that moment you're standing there as an able-bodied individual, but you're white.
Mm-hmm.
Something about this. See, that's where, for me, honestly, the biggest frustration came, is that in these types of instances where there's multiple levels of intersectionality, the approach that most white people will take in a very valid argument tends to still be this condemnation, condescending, I have something over you that I have a true, actual backed up position on, and I'm running with that shit. And so it always comes across a little bit weird when a white person will call out black people for homophobia, when a white person will call out black people for ableism, and it's like, wait a minute, like, is the intent to make sure you are teaching, or is the intent to make sure you still have that little one up, because in this kind of dynamic, you see the black person as having that bit of privilege, and you don't like that feeling.
And it was the way the situation came about, and her holding me accountable for the word was, "You're black. Why would you say that?" I am immediately looking around at her, like, trying to figure out who she's talking to first and foremost. And I don't mean that in a "who this bitch talking to" kind of way. I'm taking out my headphones, because all I'm hearing is, "You're black. Why would you say that?" I'm expecting something to pop off. I'm like, "Uh-oh, is there a black person in danger?" Not knowing it's me. But then she's like, "Hello, I'm talking to you," and she starts snapping in her wheelchair.
Oh, see.
Now, at that point, it went from "who is she talking to" to "who is she talking to." That was that escalation. But my immediate response to her, and we ended up getting to a whole conversation, and I'm like, "You may be right, but why would you lead with, and what on earth possessed you to say you're black? Why would you say that? Like, what led you to believe that was going to be your winning statement?"
Right.
Yeah. from there, we had a conversation, and I wasn't about to pop off on a woman in a wheelchair, but I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not perfect.
Honestly, in that kind of like dynamic too, the other piece, and this is something someone kind of addressed it in kind of the aspect of like colloquialisms and things like that, that the cultural nuances surrounding that word, there is a very specific reference that every single one of us knows when someone says that word.
True.
We know. We tend to see it in most rap lyrics and things like that, and it connotates like a very specific either feeling or action with doing something. We all know that.
It's got it right.
Comes out, and now it's all of a sudden, okay, well, now we have to hold people accountable. And it's like, yes, but in what way do you hold them accountable without taking away that cultural nuance that is very, very specific? And if you go around to any section of the country, everybody's going to back you up on it.
Right.
True.
It's like, because that particular word is used mainly in England as a slur. You know, here in America, now that we know that it's a slur, it will be used as a slur, but
because of the internet,
especially within the Black community, that was, yo, I'm about to go crazy, or yo, I'm about to click crazy. Out. I'm about to, you know, catch these hands, you know, or not catch these hands. I was just having, you know, a great time. You know, we knew, like. And I don't know the Lizzo lyric off the top of my head, but I know the Beyonce. Yeah, I know the Beyonce lyric. And my question on Twitter that I got a lot of likes on, even though I'm not very active on Twitter, was, I understand your anger behind Beyonce using the word, but where in the sentence was it derogatory towards you? Where did she say it was specifically specifically towards disabled people? Because there's nothing in that particular sentence. Where she says, you know, blast on that ass, because I'm using the new lyrics now. Was it directed towards anybody who is not able to do a certain thing? It was not directed towards disabled people. And I'm sure with the Lizzo situation, it was not directed towards the disabled people. And that's when, you know, I was like, I sort of understand why people are getting annoyed with cancel culture, because this particular thing really annoyed me, because I'm like, the whole sentence, the whole context around it has nothing to do with your group of people. Right. So I never got the answer to that. I wasn't expecting to get the answer to that, quite honestly, but that was the thing where I was like, how did these two songs, these two beautiful women, directly insult you all as a group of people?
Yeah, that reference point specific. I mean, like you said, it's like that point of if the reference was like a metaphor or something punny, where it's like, oh dang, like I should have said that. Like, you know, like that would make a lot more sense, especially with like now kind of the understanding of, well, this is a slur. Okay, cool, but again, what is the reference point I need to understand? The only thing that I've seen, especially in regards to that word, was the same thing, like the short and firm form of schizophrenic that people would use when referencing like feeling some type of way, getting too angry, and things like that. And that, for me, made it make sense, because I could put down, okay, because that references something else, and yes, the reference point might not connotate to the mental illness, it does create a derogatory framing around looking at mental illness. It still doesn't 100% make sense to me, but that helped me make it sense, right? Like, okay, I guess I can roll with that and just take it out of my vocabulary. Is that something?
Right.
This, for me, so I'm not saying either of you are wrong at all. I, in fact, agree with a lot of what you're saying in regards to the context part of it. However, I won't say, or like, I won't completely absolve us as Black people, because it does still have, like, its roots anyways. Because remember how we use it so interchangeably. And that's a conversation that I was having with a friend recently about the flexibility and nuance of AAVE. Because, for example, just like we have the different variations in how to use spaz, and all of it isn't necessarily a slur in and of itself, it does still have, it can have negative connotations. Like, realize specifically what spastic conditions are, and then us going, especially if we're mad or if we're, even in a positive light, the way we're using it, like, yeah, I just spazzed, I just went crazy, I did that, that's still, listening to the language behind it that we're using to all the steps we have to take to describe what that word means. It's all finding its way back to that origin. And as much as we may not mean the harm, it's the simplest point of impact versus intent is always the thing that we have to consider. And my immediate reaction to this whole situation was, damn it, white people ruin everything. Because people started posting clips from movies in the 80s where white people were looking at different, like they would use it in the same era when they would say like freak, spaz, nerd, stuff like that. And like, these are derogatories in those old school, like again, 80s, 90s, not 80s, 90s, 80s, 70s movies. Right. High school specifically, but high school, teenage, like early 20s, that whole age demographic, but still, nonetheless, that was the way they were using it. And it was just, I ain't never fixed my mouth to say it that way, so I don't know why they thought today was the day to try this, but, maybe I'll leave them to where they are, because if it don't hurt me not to say it, realistically. And the same way Beyonce just did the switch to blasting on the ass, and Lizzo switched it to Hold Me Back. It was a simple switch that, like, easy way to respect and show that you acknowledge a community. But my problem is, again, the way they decided to go at and attack these black women. And not to say that it wasn't an issue prior to now, but the fact that the moment when two black women, and more specifically because it started with Lizzo, the moment when a dark-skinned, outspoken, plus-size black woman said it. And I mention all of these different labels and titles because these titles make a grand difference in how this whole conversation is consumed. Her being on the outsides with so many different minority labels and multi-hyphenate minorities, because she's an intersectional minority at that point. People taking this opportunity to essentially just jab at her, insult her, punch down on her. Again, bringing up her weight and finding reasons to insult her. Finding reasons to try and critique her and, like, make it seem like this wasn't important to her. And then them also trying to take that and another facet of cancel culture that I absolutely hate. They took that moment to try and dig up more stuff from her past and try and find other reasons to try and make issues, because they didn't end up taking off, but people were digging up other tweets that they thought were incendiary or going to further the hate train. Does it feel a little weird to you, especially considering...
It's social capitalism. I have a thing over you now, and because I have a backing, I'm running with it. I'm going to do everything I can because in that moment I feel good. And it's a reactionary. It's a trauma response. You deal with so much, you finally get a point where you're like, this is my chance. The school bully, I'm finally sick of it. I'm feeling good today. I ate my Wheaties. I've been practicing my punches. Here it comes. And I'm throwing everything I got because it's the only option I have to make sure I come out winning. And it sucks. It sucks. And with the way that we consume information now, where it's so fast, the amount of time to learn the real impacts behind it was so far after the whole debacle with them changing the lyrics. And honestly, I feel like it kind of lost its impact because I was like, okay, they already changed the lyrics, but I don't know why. I still don't know why. No one's telling me why. I know someone's mad, but no one's telling me why. I can't learn from this. As someone who wants to try to have empathy, I can't have empathy because I don't have an option to learn at all.
Right, and that's the other thing is, like, when it comes to people start digging up other people's old tweets, and I'm like, I'm at a crossroads with it because, one, if the person is just a complete jerk and they've had a history of being a complete jerk, then that's fine with me. But if someone does something, one mistake, like this Lizzo situation, and you're trying to dig up more information, I'm like, why are you trying to really make this person or Lizzo or Beyonce, which he doesn't really have a Twitter history, but why are you guys trying to really make them out to be the bad guy? Like, why are you trying to make them these evil people that have, said one bad thing, and then you want to try to say, oh, look at what she did with this one, or look at what she said here, or look at what, like, your point now becomes diluted because you're trying to make them evil. You're trying to to throw more fuel to the fire, and it's not really fuel. You're just throwing water into the fire.
And I think
like now it's
growth.
There's
no opportunity. There's no timeline. It's impossible. You could have grown. There's just no way.
No one will ever have truly known.
Right, exactly, and that's stupid. I know, like, anytime I ever talk through, like, my personal journey with understanding myself, but also, like, the world around me, like, if people understood, like, I didn't always have these wonderful, open, empathetic thoughts about the world around me. I didn't grow up like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody would have found, oh, well, Josh, you used a slur on this group of people back in the day. Well, no shit, I was 18. You know where I grew up? Like, I had to unlearn all of that.
Moreover, it was. You know what I mean? Like, shit. It's not to say that I didn't necessarily know better, because I'm sure we can all gather as much as slurs were not a big a deal back in the day. We were aware that we were using slurs, not in the most technical sense. We don't know what community we're harming, but we know how we were using the words, like the R word. Right. It's cycling out of usage. We may not have actually known that it was like a slight against the disability community, especially considering, like, I was actively in elementary school when Let's Get It Started got redubbed. And we're aware of what song I'm referring to. Yes? Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. But also, I recently came across a small nugget that I find hilarious and also quite perplexing. They redubbed the actual song, but for Herbs, the city version of the Sims game, where they featured the original song, they converted it to Simlish, but they did not convert the redubbed version. They converted the original version. So you're listening to the words and you're like, let's get what?
They're still saying it. They're still technically saying it.
Right, they're saying it in Simlish, but now we got Sims saying it. Did nobody catch this?
Probably not.
No, they didn't. But
it's another language don't count.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works. But I think the problem with both the Lizzo and Beyonce situation is Beyonce is technically above, I don't mean this in a literal sense. She's not better than any of us in that regard, but she is above and away from all of us in a completely separate stratosphere. So in that moment, her having that human moment and it providing a semblance of accessibility to her, it was seizing that moment, especially considering with everything that had just happened prior with Lizzo, who, again, I think it's a matter of accessibility because she was just, like, Lizzo is in her superstar era right now, where she is going from this hot new artist that was hitting it out, making entertaining name for herself, to now being a music artist, a fashion girly, because she's making strides in fashion, both as a black femme and as a plus-size black femme. She's becoming a business person. She's making herself a established name and really sending herself into the stratosphere here. It was one of those things where right before you make it off, we have an opportunity to humble you, which raises the question, why do we feel the need to humble black women? But that's
another conversation.
That is definitely a different conversation. But, I'm willing to have it as a part of this one if we got time for it. But
yeah. The aspect is that one thing I have over you, I'm going to break you.
That matter of accessibility.
Remind you of like your place. Let me remind you of your place.
Especially before I lose you too, because again, it's a sense of inferiority, and then also some people were genuinely insulted. Some people were genuinely just looking for a reason to hate. Because from the same song of controversy, she made a point to it's a very queer song. Let's be very clear. It's a queer song in regards to not just the style, but the chanting and the way she's going about commentating, essentially, because that felt like a commentary track. But the quote I want to issue is, Monday I'm overrated, Tuesday on my dick. Flip-flop, flippy, flip-flopping ass bitch. She was talking her shit. She was insulting people because people been playing on her top her entire career. From DC days now. No, seriously. So,
I love that part of that song.
If you're already in your feelings, because especially if you're one of the people she was calling out, and then you see an opportunity immediately after all of being in your feelings and in this outrage of, well, I just don't think she's that important. Well, she's like, well, fuck you then. And then she gets to that part of the song. It's like, oh, fuck me? No, fuck you. I got you now. That's how that whole situation read to me. And then again, with Lizzo don't hurt nobody. Like, she talk her shit online, yeah. whatever. We all talk shit. She's allowed to talk shit. She's human just like the rest of us. But when she's talking her shit, it's not like she's like actively being disrespectful, or there's a level of talking shit that people really just like accept. And it, like, I guess they expect her to be sort of like Gabourey Sidibe. And I don't say this to compare two plus size black women. I say this more so in terms of just the way Gabourey Sidibe handles herself with that level of poise and grace, because she realizes she was precious. And then after being precious, she has always been this soft-spoken, plus-size, dark-skinned black woman. It's just all like it's that weird. No, it's not weird. It's factual. The mammy trope. She's there to be comforting. She's there to be reassuring. She's there to, again, like Josh was saying, know your role, know your place. You're there to entertain and comfort the white masses or the social audiences. And I say the white masses because, unfortunately, when it comes to the public eye, it's always centered in whiteness. It's just it's really frustrating to go back and look at that, and it was a feel-good song that Lizzo got called out on. And on top of her getting called out on it being a feel-good song, she again was minding her business, not hurting anybody. Consistently when she's clapping back, her clapbacks are less about you, more about her showing, well, you may be mad about this, but I'm still out here. I'm getting money. I'm being successful. You're mad. You're mad about it. And she's showing her affluence. And perhaps, again, that circles back to that need to humble black women. But what for? And I'm getting frustrated. I don't know if it's visible. Because...
No, it's visible, because it's like the humbling of black women. Like, it's weird because... everybody admires us. Everybody
we give you everything.
Our style. We give you love, grace, forgiveness, and then all of a sudden, the minute we start standing in our greatness, in our melanated blackness, and we're like, no, you're like, no.
People still want to hate Serena Williams right now, and she don't do nothing but swing a racket and mind her business. She win her game and go home to her family. That's it.
They always want to humble Serena. That is definitely someone that is constantly, unnecessarily humbled by the masses every time.
You can't say the ass ain't sitting, though.
I mean, I wish I had that ass, honestly.
I think everybody wishes they had that ass. That's homegrown.
That's homegrown. That's cornbread fed, collard greens fed, booty right there.
Cabbage, collard greens, cornbread, rice and gravy. Yes.
Type of booty right there.
Good workouts and good eating. That's all that is.
Yeah, but you know, when like they try to, I'm so sick of people trying to humble Serena like she's not the fucking greatest. Like, the reason black people don't watch tennis is because of her. The reason. Well, do black people really watch golf for Tiger Woods? Not.
They used to. They used to.
Yeah, used to is about that life.
Okay. Well, okay. So I don't know. I don't really care for golf. It makes me sleepy. But for tennis, I didn't care about tennis. Serena shows up on my screen. I'm like, who's this black lady that's just dominating this game? Like,
black people weren't really checking for the Olympics like that until we began seeing ourselves reflected, one. But not only seeing ourselves reflected, but given a chance. Because even if, respectfully, if Serena Williams wasn't the greatest there was, if she was just a top contender, we would have been fine with that. We would have been out there still showing up for it. People did not like that. When given the space to perform, we excel. And I say that because, again, we've even got like Simone Biles. I think that's her last name, Simone Biles. The gymnast. I won't say we in the most literal sense, but we as a social collective, we're not, or as a general race, we're not checking for gymnastics in the Olympics
not the
prior to her. And then on top of that, she's tying, like, the floor work stuff especially. She's tying her culture, and not just her culture, but her style of existence into her floor work. And they wanted to nitpick and cherry pick that this was no longer in the era of whiteness so bad. What for? That's always the question. What for? What do you stand to gain?
Like, I don't understand all of the rules of gymnastics, but her points should technically be so far above everybody else's that you should just be like, all right, we're going to have the games, but we're just going to give it to Simone Biles because she's got all the points. Like, they dial her back all the time. She can't perform one of her routines because it's a danger to the other gymnasts. I'm like,
that has nothing to do with us.
Why? Why are you humbling her? Why are you stopping her greatness?
It's not even about humbling her. Why are you limiting her capacity because of the shortcomings of her peers? Because that's what that really was. She was doing it, and not just doing it, she was executing it safely, successfully, because she put in the work, learned how to do it, and actually was able to pull it off. So why...
And doing it better than the males.
You better talk your shit.
And doing it better than the males. Because there was something that supposedly that the female gymnast could not do. She went, and I think it was a floor routine. She went and did it better, landed it like it was nothing. Like, I don't know if I'm using this reference right, but she basically did her Rengoku. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're telling her that she can't do this routine because other women have tried it, and they're like, oh, she's just great because she's... I'll never forget this Russian girl was like, oh, she's just great. People like her because she's black. She tried to do the thing that Simone did and fell flat on her face. I'm like...
Now shut up. Now shut up.
Exactly. What was that?
What was that?
Huh? I can't hear you, sweetie.
Huh, did you say something? You gotta say it louder for the people in the back.
No, seriously. And even as recent as Sha'Carri Richardson just beat one of the fastest women in the world. Did either of you knew that?
Second. By a second.
By a whole second. Do you know how long a second is? Everybody shut up. That is a second. That was a whole second. And no, there's no news coverage. We had to find out about this through, again, black social media, and then now it's going to be talked about on the back end.
The back end, because it was in Sweden, I believe, is where she beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Is where she beat the fastest woman, and by a second. And I'm like...
And people will be all like, oh, well, that's not American news. She was in Sweden. No, but we ride for Americans, right? So what are we saying then by that? Are we saying that black people aren't American, or are we saying that America really don't, like, we don't really care about our people like that? Either way, please speak clearly into the microphone.
No, here's my passion. I'm very passionate about black women. I love us. I wish for us to get out of our own way with certain things. I wish for us to stop being in long-ass relationships that are going nowhere.
I want us to be single until we're getting what we deserve. Honestly, truly.
Exactly. Like, long-ass relationships that are not going anywhere, where you're sitting there 15 years, 4 kids later, and he gets on his deathbed, and now he wants to marry you. Again, totally different conversation.
Let him die, let him die, let him shrivel up and die.
I'm just... Josh is over here like, let me just... He's like,
I know my place.
Yeah, it's just, I love to see black women winning, and when I see somebody, like, just sitting on us for no reason, especially, you know, white women, white men, black men who do it all the time, I'm like, just stop doing that to us. We're trying to be great, and you're mad for whatever reason at our greatness.
Who's mad? It feels so weird and petty to say it that way, but, like, it gets so tiresome to just brush it off as hoes mad, or like, don't worry, like the pep talks we used to have to get as a kid. Don't worry about it. They're just mad at you because you're doing better than them. At what point does this stop being, I have to just tolerate bullshit because they're mad at me for being X, Y, and Z? For a success, for a modicum of accomplishment. I won't even say success. For a modicum of accomplishment. They're mad at me because of that. Because I'm gonna dial this back on a much micro scale. If you go through any popular tweet that's popping off, somebody is always in the comment section trying to consistently find that somebody is copying from somebody else. Like, realistically, it's hard. Like, all thoughts are completely original on the internet. It's not, but also it's copying someone else. Someone's also in the comments trying to say it's not funny. Someone's memeing in the comments trying to take away or like ratio them entirely. And then someone trying to ride on the coattail of somebody else's joke. You don't think that's a little tired? Like, it's one thing to be kikiing and respond to the replies and happen to just be funny. It's a whole nother thing to see somebody actually trying to be hilarious in the reply section for no reason.
Yeah. A little, it's like secondhand embarrassment.
I'm embarrassed.
I get that a lot.
It's thirdhand embarrassment. I'm embarrassed for you because I know your people embarrassed.
Yeah. Like, hey, guys, can we stop that, please? Thank you. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I wish people would just leave us alone. Leave.
Seriously.
Have conversations about food or something.
Not about food.
Like, I don't know. Just something. Just don't let it be me. I don't want to have to deal with it.
Well, it won't be you because we're actually going to move into picking petals. We got 4 questions today. The first one being a little messy, and I enjoy that people love being messy. Going around, and actually I want to start with Josh for this one because Josh look excited, so I'm going to set you up to be messy, bitch.
Oh God.
The question is there anyone who got canceled that you feel 110% deserved it?
I mean, besides, we'll take out the obvious one.
Insert Jeopardy music. I
know. I mean, I feel like all of them. I mean, J.K. Rowling. Listen, for sure.
For sure.
And the people riding with her, because some of y'all cannot let it go. It was good. The movies were good. Leave them.
It was a moment in time. It was
enjoy for what it was then. It was great then. We ride for our trans family at this point. That's it.
Well, seriously,
that's it.
It doesn't hurt.
That's it.
Like, I don't understand why. Like, it was also her having to backtrack along with her like turf rhetoric to try and make so many other characters queer within the zeitgeist to try and say, see, I'm not transphobic. I just don't think they should be in the bathrooms with us. I think there should be separate laws. And girl, we didn't ask for it. We didn't need it. Lead them. Nobody asked if they was gay. We did not think Dumbledore was fucking, let alone gay. Nobody.
Not even kind of smart
not think Dumbledore was gay up until the Fantastic Beasts. Okay, I have multiple fandoms. I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I have the books in this box somewhere. I want to get the new Harry Potter game. Again, this is something that I'm not struggling with the fact that she's homophobic and transphobic. I am struggling with the fact that I am a fan of this woman's work. Mm-hmm. And I still want to enjoy the work because it has been, I literally asked one Christmas, all I wanted one Christmas was just the Harry Potter book series. I'm an 11-year-old girl reading this fantastical thing, and all I want is just a book. I don't want clothes, candy, shoes, toys, none of that. Give me the books. And I do have to agree that cancellation was warranted, because I'm like, you can't alienate a group of people that have potentially identified themselves with one or many of your characters. Like, you cannot do that. And then just recently she turned around and wrote a book under her pseudonym about a woman that got killed for being transphobic. I'm like, you just can't.
You can't leave well enough alone.
You are continuing.
You are stupid. You are a stupid woman.
I've been to the Harry Potter store here in New York. I want to go to the play, but I'm like, you are making it hard as hell for me to even give you some type of money because this is still under your umbrella. This is still going to make you money. And I want to enjoy the things that I like. I love Harry Potter. I do, but it's like, I'm like, you have got to shut up. Get off of Twitter, shut your face, never come back. Only come back in like another 10 years.
Just to celebrate the
Harry Potter.
That's it, exactly.
Just pop back up, write your little books, don't say nothing. Get off of Twitter. So I'm like, shut up. You deserve to be canceled, but shut up. Quiet, please.
Immediately. No, seriously. And
immediately.
I can't even be mad because I have a similar story like Case where I wasn't too invested in the Harry Potter series like that, but I was strong into all of the books, and not only was I strong into all of the books, I had a lot of my family being the reason why I got strong into these books because it was beautiful the way it all happened, and so it means a lot to me. Not really about Harry Potter specifically, but because Harry Potter showed me a very, very healthy experience of family, and not to say that I don't have a lot of them, but family's a very complicated situation for me. It was me expressing interest at a book, in the book specifically, while I was at my Auntie Philly house. That's not her actual name. In reality, I gotta be clear for those in the back who do not understand. Black people have aunties and uncles who do not have those real names because they're not actual aunties or uncles by blood. They one of these folk. They these people. And for those who get it. I'm not explaining it because I believe in gatekeeping AAVE. But I was at my Auntie Philly house and I was actually looking at different books. I was chilling. I think my mom was doing hair or something, or getting her hair done. Either way, vibing over there. Got tired of the TV. I had finished all of my tasks and stuff because I usually bring little books or whatever with me to keep me busy, occupied while my mom's doing whatever she's doing because I was an independent kid. I had finished my book, expressed an interest in, and I remember the book like it's the back of my hand. It was The Prisoner of Azkaban. No, I'm lying. Oh my God, it wasn't The Prisoner of Azkaban. The second book she gave me was The Prisoner of Azkaban. The first one was The Sorcerer's Stone, because I wasn't even reading them in order. I didn't go back and read them in order until later on in life. I was just reading the book because I was like, I've heard about this. I've never actually gotten to read it. This is cool. And I'm like, what's Harry Potter about? And they're like, you can read it if you want. And I actually sat there and read it. And it
backwards.
Look here. The point is, I read it, and not only did I read it, I got good into it, because I was about 4 or 5 chapters deep while I was just sitting there reading, and she was amazed. She was like, yo, this kid will just pick up a book and get into it, and clearly this kid liked books. So when it was time for me to leave and everything, I went to go put the book back, but I was making sure that I was giving my mom the details, whatever. She just said, no, keep it. You can have it. That was a small moment, but for me as a kid, that's a major thing, because not only do I enjoy books, you took a moment to acknowledge and just entertain me very briefly into an interest of mine. But not only did you take a moment to just sow a few seconds into an interest of mine, you actually felt it important to not only give me a book, because it's not about the gift, it's the sentiment of, I can tell this genuinely makes you happy. I am also invested in your happiness. Take this and go be successful.
Yeah, I annoyed my mom that way. I was describing to her what was going on in the book. And I was like, Harry's doing this, and he's got the wand, and he's in the Chamber of Secrets, and it's amazing. And just give me the damn book. And so
I still hate the movie to this day, because the way they had the actual chamber after the way that pulled out, I hated that. And then the CGI for the...
Still the missed opportunity to have the kitchen in I don't remember which movie it was, but a missed opportunity to have the kitchen in the movie. But it was a mother-daughter bonding moment, because she enjoyed reading as well, and I was just getting on her nerves about the books. And so that's how, I'm very bonded with my mother, so that's one of the ways we've stayed bonded.
Connected. It's one of the things that keep your relationship tight.
Yeah. Among other things, but yeah.
I'll go second because I want to give Kay time to think on who she's proud that was canceled. For me, mine is.
I already have it.
Oh, you fucking Scorpios! Oh my god.
I already have it.
Y'all were too ready. I actually had to think on the question, but I'm sitting here watching Josh go. Well then I'll let you close since you seem so excited. God damn.
It's gonna be really short because I think it's pretty obvious.
I hope I'm not stealing yours then.
No, go ahead.
Mine is Daniel Caesar. And it's not even on it's not on a major, like, oh my God, what he did was so terrible. No, it was because he got audacious. He said, I know y'all gonna cancel me for this, so go ahead and cancel me if you want. I'm like, okay.
Watch. No. You said we wouldn't. Shit.
You know,
I got time.
Black unity is a hard thing to come by, but we collectively as a community said, bet.
Think I won't.
I promise.
Think I won't.
My favorite running joke to this day, and I talk about it all the time. My favorite running joke to this day is the fact that people on Twitter were all like, I still listen to Best Part with her just to make sure you can get him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh my God.
Drink water and mind my business.
Oh.
What's even worse is, he's not getting full royalties because it's not his
song.
So.
He's only getting a percentage. Maybe like 5% the way the label breakdowns and shit be. I think he's with a label. I don't think he's independent. Also, side part, do y'all know, like, the fact that we don't even know that he is still making music is part of the problem. It was beautiful to watch Black unity come in motion like that. But he definitely deserved that because, first of all, why would you spit in the face of the people who are supporting you? We were supporting you.
Watch.
I don't know.
Black people are too mean to white people. You see, you might even be able to make a compelling argument. I could have lived with that.
Oh, that's who you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out, like, I've heard the name before, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he definitely deserves to get canceled.
I like to use this as a reflector. Kay here is normally the nicest soul on this planet, so when Kay feels this way, you know you fucked up.
Hey. I mean, not sorry?
No, not even remotely. But
not even remotely sorry. Do I go now?
Yes, indeed.
Mine's just the baby.
New Orleans did him so dirty!
Excuse me? Only sold 500 tickets?
500 tickets?
Lower the ticket price and everything.
And they said, no thank you, you can keep it.
We good.
Okay. We good. How you gonna, like, you're a hetero straight man, black man. Who the hell are you to be telling your gay fans not to be doing
anything?
What they do? Anything. Like,
moreover,
who are you?
Not like hood niggas fuck with you. Yes. But realize at least 30 to 40% of hood niggas are DL niggas on the low. And I'm saying this because I got the authority too.
From experience.
I don't know that.
I could open my phone right now and show you at least 5 out of 7 messages from DL niggas. I say 5 out of 7 because the other 2 are just straight up dick pics. There's no conversation. But they be doing all that stuff. You insulted part of your base, sir. That was the reason why your concerts ain't going nowhere. And then the rest of your base came from because you made a lot of collaborative efforts with fucking Megan Thee Stallion. You had Crybaby and Cash Shit. That was how a lot of us found you, sir.
Bruh, when he did that, when he had what is that?
Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Didn't even try to. And didn't even try to. Could have lied and be like, hey, listen, I had to do it.
It was just a bag. He was right there. He hit me up. I already agreed to it.
At the same place, and I'm like, the disrespect that you did.
Oh yeah,
Megan.
I forgot about that. It wasn't even just a song. They performed it at the BET Awards together. I forgot about that.
Brought him on stage and everything in front of her face.
Festival. He wasn't supposed. Tory Lanez has a restraining order. No, Megan has a restraining order against Tory Lanez. Or it's a government. It's a court order, like stay away order. He wasn't supposed to be there. How the hell do you not know, Megan Thee Stallion, that the person that shot her in the foot is there?
Because nobody cared.
Like, never mind the fact that y'all have a song together. I don't care. It's the industry. As far as I'm concerned, everybody backstabs everybody in the industry. But to do that to someone that you supposedly care about, that you supposedly want to see win, and you bring this short little nigga to the festival, to the stage, to perform a song with you?
Proudly.
And then you do the thing about the DL men, and then you pretend to want to talk to Zach Campbell and others about, how his words and how he affected the gay community, and then you don't call them back because Zach Campbell was going to be one of those people. They were going to do like an HBO special or something, and they were going to have a sit-down conversation about how his words impacted the gay community. Never came to fruition.
It could have been worse. It could have been Todrick Hall.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm going to ask you about that later. Because I don't know what's going on with Todrick Hall.
Baby.
Be honest with you.
He got a little money.
No. He don't got a little money.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He first got a little money, and too many white people were giving him compliments, and got ahead of himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some clarity on Todrick Hall.
We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, thank you, because I need to know, because he's not even on RuPaul anymore, and I'm like, wait a minute now.
He burning bridges.
Still, I mean,
RuPaul, if nothing else, is a businesswoman, and if it ain't good for her brand,
it ain't good for the business.
Notice she don't talk about Tyra Sanchez, one of the winners of her first seasons of the show.
Again, that is another conversation off air, because Tyra Sanchez is another one that sort of
got canceled.
Anyway, yeah. It's don't sit up there and pretend to be wanting to be an ally to the gay community and then not show up and do the things that you want to do, put out some BS apology, and then turn around a day later like, see what y'all made me do? Y'all tried to cancel me and you still couldn't cancel me. I was like, oh, you didn't learn shit. And so now you only sell $500. You're only selling $500 tickets to a venue that you're supposed to be able to sell out. Good.
He fucked up from several different angles, because
several different things, but because
we're not even gonna talk about the whole, like, part of the reason as well is the Danny Lee and how he treated his ex, the mother of his child.
Oh, that too, exactly.
All,
it was just like
the colorism thing, right? He needed to sit down, and he got a terrible publicist at that point. But he be beating on people. He be Suge Knighting these people. So perhaps it's best that they don't tell him anything.
I will be perfectly honest with you. I don't blame his publicist. I blame him.
I never blame him.
Because your publicist can only do so much if you're not going to follow through with what she or he says to do. And even
if you do follow your publicist's orders, because I think I told you guys, I am currently studying. Along with all of my music stuff, I took a small hiatus from all of my music education to get a certification for media communications. They teach you how to do promo work, and I actually did, because it was funny that it just happened. The whole situation with the baby being in bad light. He was the publicity situation I had. I'm like, I think the best solution is for him to just sit down. Don't disappear, because musically, he's got a great fan base, and this would be an opportune time for him to, again, just lean into and stick to what he's good at. But in terms of the public eye, the social lens, he needs to maybe stay home, out of people's business, or like go to Coney Island, maybe invest in some anger management, because he was out here whooping niggas left and right. I couldn't obviously say that on paperwork, but that was the whole point that I was putting together. He just needs not silence, but to lay low, let it die down. Like, the publicists had already issued their statements, the apologies had been out. He came out, put out a video, half-assed apology, but an apology nonetheless. Just shut up. Sometimes just shut the fuck up. On to question number 2. I'll let Kay start this one, and we'll go in the reverse order this time.
Okay.
Do you believe that there is a such thing as separating the art from the artist? Josh, why you look like that?
Ooh, that's
I will say yes. I will say yes, because even though I am still struggling with the Harry Potter bit, you can. However, what I will say, it depends on who the person is.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
While JK is a complete idiot, I am still struggling. You can separate the art from the artist. Now, if we're talking an R. Kelly,
you can't.
No, you cannot, because too much of his music, if you dive into it, could be
from him
confessing to a lot of things. It could be him confessing to a lot of things. So, what I will say is, it depends on who the person is. Okay. So I can't give a yes and I cannot give a no. I'm in the middle, because everything is so, I don't know if I don't think conditional is the right word, but everything is just...
There's more nuance, or there's...
Yeah, there's more nuance to it, because, like I said, there's J.K. Rowling, yes. She's going to die. Harry Potter's going to be there forever and a day, R. Kelly, no. That is a criminal through and sexual predator through and through. There's no separating the two. So my answer is, it depends. It depends on who the person is. I'm just completely honest. It depends on the person who it is. So, I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
For me, it's gonna be a flat no. I'm just solid no. But I agree to an extent. It does require that nuance. However, I feel as though, like with the J.K. Rowling thing, I think she needs to be either paid out or separated from the Harry Potter franchise entirely, because at that point, again, if we continue to support the art that she's produced, as much as we may not support her, she's still reaping the benefits, gaining from, and that money and those benefits are providing her capital to carry on and continue perpetuating this dangerous information. So,
right.
Again, it's still a flat out no. If we can't actually separate J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter, then I just gotta let go of Harry Potter altogether. And for me, that was the answer until I find out that there is no more J.K. in Harry Potter, because it's Warner Brothers entirely, or because someone else within her company has completely bought her out of it, whatever. And they're not trying to give us anything new, because with respect to the art that she created, this is a separate fantasy world where, again, until she began running her mouth, there was no designations of queerness or straightness or anything, except for Draco Malfoy. That is a filthy het, and we do not claim him. Although, actually, you know what? I will say he might give white twink energy. He might give white Weho twink. But that's as far as I'll ever go. But I'm more comfortable associating him with the Chads. Y'all can keep him. At any rate, my point is, this is an entirely fantasy world. JK or no JK, if we can actually get her away from it specifically so that she can, again, hopefully feel it in her pockets, and her pockets burning and hurting enough will bring some wisdom to her eyes. Although realistically, I don't feel like that actually teaches, but that's, again, side conversation that we'll circle to later. I think I honestly, yeah, I'm gonna have to stand on it. It's a solid no. And like you said, it's a simple no when it comes to people like R. Kelly, because there's no way that you can't tell me, especially considering he's a sexual artist and so many people revere him as a musical genius, but a lot of his music catalog is around R&B, and specifically sexual R&B. Everyone always makes the joke, you were probably conceived to 12 play. Okay, but...
Bump and grind,
right.
Stuff like that.
Now, the running joke now, at least with Gen Z, and like I said, I'm a millennial, so I'm right there in that little 3-4 year gap right there, right before Gen Z officially hit. What 12 play mean? What do that mean? 12, is it because of the songs, or because he was playing with 12-year-olds? And I'm not being funny. I need you to really speak into the microphone, sir. What do that mean? And then, like, not just that one. I go through, I know there is one, I don't know the name of the album, but I know there is one album that I can succinctly recall from R. Kelly because of my mom specifically, because my mom had always been an R. Kelly fan. I don't know her positioning on it now because I tend to avoid a lot of explosive conversations, just not because, like, I'm not going to cancel my mom realistically, but, like, my mom, I completely disown my father. I don't want to look at my mom another way, so I'm just like, let me not find reasons to rock the boat.
Right. Was it the Chocolate Factory?
I don't think it was. It was, I remember this album specifically because there's one song from it that my mom used to love bouncing around to. She would play it when she was going to work. She would play it, like, it was always on, because her CD player in the car had one of those, like, rotational thingies. So
rotational. Yeah, rotational.
It was always one of the 3 discs that was always in there. It was like the song, like, Sex Planet, You've Been Screwing My Best Friend. I don't know the actual name of this. Like, I think it's like Freaky in the Club or something like that. Like, it was an album in the middle of, like, the 2007, 2008, somewhere around there.
Okay. So I was thinking it may have been Ignition.
After Ignition, I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
After Ignition.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out later.
The point is, I don't know that there's ever gonna be a nuance enough for me to say, all right, we'll keep it. However, also, no. I won't say that my opinion can't change, but for me, at least of right now, it's a solid no. Josh?
Yeah, I'm on the no train. I think in the instance of, like, affecting change, kind of like the concept, like, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Like, if we want to call a spade, call it what it is, it's a no. You don't get my money, you don't get my interest, you don't get nothing. However, the reality of the human condition is that we only have so much capacity, and I think that there is room to allow for, if I recognize that this person is wrong, this thing is wrong, I can still enact change. However, then you kind of loop into the possibilities of things like irony poisoning, where you surround yourself in that vibe for too long, you loop right back around to still agreeing with that. So I think fundamentally it's an overall no, but eventually I think we will all get to a point, hopefully, where all of these things that we've nitpicked to say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, the art, and just simply the art, can be appreciated. But we got a while to go. Maybe.
I'm gonna just borrow it just a little bit further. Even, and I'm gonna say this, and again, I'm not gonna go into this conversation entirely. I'm just gonna use it as a point of reference to appreciating art. I don't know that we as a society actively know how to just appreciate art, because we feel the need to be hands-on in everything. Like, the problem with cultural appropriation. Everyone's all like, no, it's not appropriation, it's appreciation. Just because you appreciate something does not mean you have to interact with it. You can admire it from afar. You can consume it and keep it pushing. You don't need to emulate it. You don't need to replicate it. You don't need to commentate on it. You can just consume it and keep going. Oh, your hair is really nice. Thank you. Can I touch it? No.
No.
You see how that immediately jumped from here to there, and that's a big jump.
That's a big jump. Jumping over the moon for that one.
No, seriously, how did we get from, oh my God, your hair looks very nice, to, I want to invade your privacy, your boundaries, your space. You didn't even know my name. And even if you did, that don't make it okay.
That part.
Yeah, it's like, take me out to dinner first, damn.
Nope, even if you take me out to dinner. The only people allowed to touch my hair are the people who A, can afford to pay for it, and B, the people who are going to be responsible for ruining it. And no, I will not explain that second one. Shut up, Josh. Shut up! Shut up!
Okay, I won't ask questions. I'm good.
I will. Question number 3. Question number 3. If you could issue, that one's actually a really good question though. If you could issue a life vest to anybody who has been canceled previously or is currently in the process of being canceled, who would it be? I will lead this one because
Yeah, I got mine.
I want to save AB from herself. Azalea Banks. Like, baby, just shut up.
She can be saved.
Just give us the oots and shut up, please.
Because every time, 1991, I'm like, they just set the anniversary just passed. And I was like, that was a good.
Like, I love me. Twitter consistently eats her up. She tracks everywhere, but not in a good way, baby. Like, you ride for black people, and I ride for you as a black femme because I support black women's rights and wrongs. But damn it, not you.
Hard.
That's a line in the sand, and I gotta cross it with you. Cause why? Stop it.
You make it hard.
No, seriously.
You make it really hard.
Because it'd be something new, and then the times when she kind of loops back around, where it's like, oh wait, she learned, and then you'll read the rest. You're like, oh no, she didn't. Nah, she didn't.
Damn. And it's like,
try again next time.
It's like, damn. Like, I don't know. I don't understand how she either. I was talking about it, and I was trying to formulate how to say this. She either fails successfully or succeeds terribly, but there's no in between. She'll put out a great track and then proceeding to after put out a great track or give us a good commentary on a track. Like when Renaissance dropped. She gave us great commentary on house music, only to shoot herself in the foot and feel like one, because she weaponized the Hive. The Hive wasn't going to go for it. But two, like, you ruined your own legacy with, one, your mouth consistently. But on top of your mouth consistently, you also ruined your legacy, or the potential of your legacy, because I won't say it's completely ruined. She, again, still can be saved. She can reclaim the shambles, but it's going to be an uphill battle from this point. And I don't know if she's like me. I don't like fighting uphill battles. So if I feel myself going downhill, I'll just ditch it. I'll find another way around. Perhaps I'll find a different route, whatever. But you did not need to try and insult Beyonce. On top of insulting Beyonce, did not need to try and compare your career to Beyonce's. Because, baby, when you were learning about music, Beyonce was creating it. You are a 20-something, 30. Is she in her 30s yet? I don't even think she's made it to her 30s. She's in her 20s. Baby, Beyonce is 41 and has been... She told you back in... Was that 4? Yeah, that was her 4 era when we got Diva. Or was that I Am Sasha Fierce?
That was 4. No, that was...
Diva was Sasha Fierce, I think.
No, you're right. Yeah, Sasha Fierce.
Back in the Sasha Fierce era, she told us she's 16 in her stilettos, still strutting in this game. Baby, you were just being conceived, maybe just born, when she was out here laying tracks.
No, she is 31 years old.
Okay, so she was around. But you was running around on a play yard when she was out here getting to the bag. Baby, chill, relax. There was never going to be a comparison between your two careers.
Never, ever.
Never, ever, ever. And then I get that you may think you have a monopoly on the house music bag, and you tend to try and keep it as black as you can because you respect that it is a black art form, and I respect you for that. It's one of the reasons why I love you. But you shot yourself in the foot entirely. And then put that very shot foot in your mouth. So now there's all kinds of gangrene everywhere. You're just rotting the whole corpse. The body needs a purge. Maybe just get a new body. Talk to, not Dr. Miami, because people say he sucks, but talk to somebody. Get you a new body, baby. We'll go to Josh next. Who are you trying to save?
Dave Chappelle. Listen.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm not mad.
I really think that Dave Chappelle, unfortunately, is just a product of this shitty ass world. And somebody somewhere I bet money could get through to him. Because that joke that he told, and doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down on that joke, at its root is an aspect of what we all have been taught over and over and over again. And unfortunately, he got the okay from a person who is the same color as the collective group that forces the information that we all learned over and over and over again.
Ain't in our general and in our best interest.
Exactly.
I feel like also Dave Chappelle fell into a major, how do I want to say this? He wasn't your typical black comedian for the time, and so not only was he successful, but also he appealed to a different audience. In the same way that he was creating black content, but in white spaces, the same way Issa Rae does. The difference between the two of them is how they successfully navigate those spaces and execute those things. Because I feel like his content, again, was black in these spaces, but it took for him to see how these white people were consuming it. Not consistently aware of and pushing and, again, steering where this was going to go. It was him consuming or taking the reactions of its consumption and going, I'm not comfortable with this. Maybe let me pull that back. And then getting shunned. And then, again, and his circles and spaces outside of that, because his social spaces condition him. Because how do you get a white trans woman to greenlight you to tell a trans joke when disproportionately your community is the black community? If anything, I would have run it towards a black trans person, because there are, white trans women will still be white women when the transness is separated in terms of the consumption. And outside of all of that, even if we don't bring the gender into it, they are still white, which means they do not face the overlap of layers, the misogynoir, the trans misogynoir that comes with that entire experience. Moreover, there's also, again, a different lived experience and a different nuance to the jokes you're telling for the community you are most popular within, because it may have been a hit in just a joke within white spaces. But then you've got several people who have a hyper-fixated eye on the black community consuming this and going, oh, word, yeah, because Jaquan, I like to think her name is Jatavia now. No, that was not, you're inspiring a wave of both intentional and unintentional transphobia, more so because you refuse to acknowledge that what you said was wrong. Then, outside of not acknowledging what you said was wrong, it's the doubling down on it instead of at least taking accountability to say, I meant what I said and I stand by what I said in that moment. However, I can acknowledge that as much as I meant what I said then, I can see the harm it has caused. That is, like, there's one, you can preserve your joke and still, like, you can preserve your joke, your stance, whatever, and acknowledge, at least acknowledge the people that you've harmed and go, okay, I did not mean to harm you. I can't get rid of this joke because I feel like I agree with what I said and I can't say that my mind has changed. But I at least did not mean to harm you. And for that, I will apologize, which is a half-assed apology. But it's at least, like, those half-assed apologies are at least somewhat sincere. It costs you nothing. Like, it costs no one anything to be just remotely sincere, just a semblance of compassion.
Yeah,
decency.
Humanity. Yeah.
Kate, did I ask you already who you were saving? I don't think so.
No, but I am struggling with this one because
you don't. It's okay to say you don't feel like anybody needs to be saved.
I mean, honestly, no. But this person needs to be
tapped on the shoulder.
Not even tapped on the shoulder. He needs people around him to be like, you have a problem that the entire world knows, and you are having an episode right now because this taps into some mental health issues. You're having a really, really bad episode right now, and you need to stop.
Are you saying who I think you are?
While I do not like Kim Kardashian,
we knew it.
I know that family. I have not listened to any of Kanye's music these last couple of hours.
Guess who's going to jail tonight?
Yeah, somebody save Kanye. Somebody. I tried to read what he was talking about this weekend. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Kanye's going through the same thing Megan's going through with the mom situation, but they're handling it incredibly different. And
right. What are you talking about?
I don't know that Miss Donda would be proud of how you acted.
No, not at all. And it's just I wrote him off when he went and was like, I support. Like, I really wrote him off when he was on TMZ Live. And this is when I was like, what the fuck? Where he went and then he said, people chose to be slaves for 400 years. And Van Lathan was like, no, what you're saying is harmful. What you're saying is wrong. You are in a position of power, and you are out here saying on live television, because the Kardashians was like, oh, it was edited in a way to make him look
no baby.
No, boo. No, baby. No, it was live. TMZ has a segment in the afternoon, and I believe they still do this. They have an hour show in the afternoon where they are live and they talk about, what's going on with celebrity news going on in the day. And then at around 6 or 7:30, between those hours, they do the tape show that from the morning meeting that they had at like 6, 7:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. That was not edited. And when he said that, I was like, that was me making my own personal cancellation of Kanye West. I didn't go on Twitter and say cancel Kanye. This was way before cancel culture even became really heavy, because we still had cancel culture. We just wasn't vocal about it, and we weren't so into our social media about it. So I personally canceled Kanye at that moment. This week, I'm like, you need your people, because he has people around him. But because he's so unwilling to listen, that it's hard for them to get through. I'm giving my life jacket to Kanye as much as I really don't want to. I just want to see him do better, because it's insanity. I don't know what else to call it. And this is the one time where I feel bad for Kim, because she really thought she was going to get somebody sane, and she's now stuck, married to this person that has now fired his 5th divorce lawyer. Like, you are now torturing her. You are now just not giving her the right to leave you.
I'm gonna say something just controversial for the people in the back. While I do agree with what you're saying in regards to Kanye, and more so the general argument in looking at women's how the treatment of women has become normalized in terms of how men act, and both saving him and also holding him accountable for everything he's been doing. I also can't help but on the back end feel like this is a bit of ancestral karma for the Kardashian reign of terror against black men.
Oh, for sure.
And women. Because Jordan, what is her last name? Jordan Woods?
Jordan Woods, yeah. I feel bad for Kim in the sense of she's stuck. with Kanye. She cannot get the divorce. That's the only time I feel bad for her. The rest of everything else that she's done, fuck her. Like, oh, she's getting black people out of jail. And if anything, that's just professional clout chasing, if you ask me.
No, seriously.
Great that she's doing it.
It's good for publicity.
Yeah, like it's just she failed the bar because she was trying to study to be a lawyer. Get the fuck out of here, please. Several seats. The only thing is that I'm sad for her is that she cannot get out of this marriage. Other than that,
good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
All right. And we're on to the last question. It's actually, I think this one is going to be the most simple. What does it say? Okay. The question is, do you feel like you've done anything that would get you canceled?
I go first?
Yes.
No.
No.
I don't think. No.
I think I've done things that'll get people to try.
No, I mean, I say this as a person who is very conscious about what I put out into the world. So if I have sort of like this morning, I had was it this morning or was it yesterday morning? I put out a tweet this morning. I think it was this morning where I said, random thought. I was thinking about a Tyler Perry play where Tyler Perry, the situation was the girl was having sex with her boyfriend. The boyfriend up and leaves. The mother tries to get an abortion for her, and she can't do it because she's too far along or whatever. And Medea's character was like, well, I don't think she said, well, good, but she was like, well, you're not going to go to prom. You're going to have this baby. This is that and the third. Now, I understand not going to prom and everything like that. But to force a teenager to a lifetime job seemed really fucked up to me. And maybe that might get me, a few arguments here and there.
Yeah, that ain't gonna get you canceled.
But it's not gonna get me canceled. So that's why I'm like, I don't think I've done anything or said anything to get me canceled, because I'm always constantly. My mother put it in my head that everything that you do in the past will come back to bite you. And so I've had that in my brain since that conversation. And I'm very acutely aware of what I put out into the world. And I'm like, I don't think I should say this. So I'm just going to keep it, write it in the Facebook thing, and then delete it and be like, hey, how's everybody doing? So that's my way of sort of getting it out without letting it out. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't think I've done anything to get canceled.
For me, no, I don't think I will get canceled. Like I said, I think people will try. Like, I was talking about it earlier, and I'll go ahead and quote myself, and I'll even provide a visual when I'm editing this. But the tweet reads, admittedly bad take. Both slim and fat people have EDs, and fat people deserve the same grace we issue the slimmer people. Also, if you're not actively invested in helping either of them, hand the emotional eater chicken wings and the bulimic person a piece of gum and shut up. Again, potentially bad take because it probably could have been said better in terms of being composed in 280 characters or less, and more so because in the social eye, everyone's obsessed with niceness and polite delivery and respectability politics. But did I lie? Where was the lie? Where was me actually attacking anybody?
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah, I think for me too, it's one of those things where someone would definitely try, because the aspect of nuance is so lost on people that they expect that if not every single detail is thoroughly explained, then you must have purposely excluded it. So therefore, you're wrong. Time out.
I'm so sorry you don't critically think.
My bad.
Right.
Especially like Twitter back in the day, 140 characters.
Yeah.
Not Beyonce. Rihanna was a menace back in the day.
That's not, but you only had 140 characters, right? And yes, you could do threads, but you had to make sure they stay timed up together.
And you had to make sure everybody was actually going to read the thread, because realistically...
Exactly. We're not doing all that.
People were running with whatever you said.
like the fact that I remember when like the story came out, like that was a big deal, but you followed it because the way it was written, like okay, cool. But honestly, like that's how it'd be now. It'd be like someone would be able to go back to 2009 when I first got on Twitter, and Twitter was a barren wasteland, and you could only tweet so often before the server crashed, and he's like, oh well, Josh, you tweeted this. It's like, yeah,
And
because
Yeah.
like I did. You're right. It could mean all these things, but there you don't have no proof.
right.
So just take it at face value. That's it.
And even if you're gonna take it at a deeper level, make sure that your argument has cohesive sense. Two, if it's got cohesive sense, make sure that what you're saying, like, not only is cohesive, because like I said, the cohesive sense matters, but that it tracks all the way through or can't be easily dispelled. Because if you're arguing with something that can, like, you're telling me, like, if you're actually getting a falafel, for example, and this is a random example, but stick with me here. You're getting a falafel. You're selling me a taco? No, it's a falafel. But it's basically a taco. Yeah, but it's Middle Eastern. So they're appropriating the culture. No, these are two different places in the world, two different. Are you hearing yourself here? And that's the way people are gonna consume your content. Like, it could be as simple as a falafel. Just make sure it makes sense, because you start to sound dumb. But in the event that I do get canceled, let me go ahead and provide myself time to roll the clip of Evelyn from the internet's apology about getting canceled on Twitter. I will share it with you guys later, but roll clip! Again, I'm probably going to edit this part out, but essentially the gist of it was her going, if I have ever... And she's African, so she has a, like...
The really thick
heavy
accent.
accent. Just the heavy
Well,
accent.
she was raised in Texas, so born and raised in Texas, but she's African in regards to her upbringing, and I want to say she's first gen, so her family is also, she grew up with the accent. So she's like,
If you ever see my lifeless Twitter body just dragging across your timeline, newsfeed dashboard, remember this video, remember me. If I ever say something to offend you, if I ever say something hurtful, you don't have to associate with me. I understand the concept of impact versus intent. I understand. Lily, I do understand. I'm just saying, remember me. When you see my body.
now that the clip is over, we're going to go ahead and cycle into our next segment, Plug in New Roots. Now, I don't know about y'all, but in the spirit of B-Day, I'm going to let everyone know now, all of my songs are Beyonce related. So, yours don't have to be, mine will be. Do with that information what you will.
Plug in your roots.
Yes. It's essentially, we're making a group playlist from the episode, and it's also interactive with the audience. They will have the opportunity to provide, well, we're providing 5 songs, again, just to get the ball rolling, but they can provide songs that they feel fit along with the topic and energy or specific message. I'll go ahead and, actually, I don't think I've had Josh lead a segment. You go ahead and start us out. What's your song number 1?
All right, song number 1. Good old RuPaul, Supermodel.
You better work.
We know, but that song, it comes on, move out the fucking way. Move.
Move. Yeah, you gotta move.
That's
Anything you do
will be held against you.
You have to move.
That was my first song.
It's mine too. The fact that she's, I mean, not to get off topic here.
No, you're fine.
But the fact that she got Grace Jones was enough for me.
I still want to know what "broke up" means. I really do.
I think I was told I heard it was patois.
Yes, I've heard the same. I've done my research, but I wanna get it from a confirmed source.
Right. But I'm like, it probably just means backup.
Probably,
just using the context around the word or whatever. But yes, that is my favorite song.
that one's a jam.
I guess my song I'm not sure if I maybe understood the thing right.
Go for it.
Is put your hands on my eyes can see.
Okay. I'm curious to know why you chose that song. I don't think it's a bad choice. In fact, I feel like I could do it, but I don't want to paint my own narrative on it. Talk to us.
Like I said, I think I might have misunderstood the thing at the bottom. So, maybe if you could just re-explain it to me, we can double back to me, and I can have like 2 songs.
So basically, you're choosing 5 songs that you feel are relevant to the topic. Again, per the script in the instructions, it says be it in spirit or the actual topic. And the rule of thumb always is, as long as you can tie it in, it'll fly. Realistically, like, there's no right answer here, but also I am that teacher where everyone's going to give me a general answer, but if you give me a different answer or a new way to look at this assignment, I'm not mad at it. I'll take it. Give it to me.
Okay.
I'm just here to listen.
Okay, so then just double back to me because I've got this whole thing wrong.
Oh, okay. Like I said, my song was Move, mostly because of that specific line. Like I said, anything you do will be held against you. You got to move. It's too easy. It's too easy to stick. It's funny to say it this way. Like I said, all of my songs are Beyonce songs, so you know this isn't on my list. But to quote TLC, don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. If you think it's not in your best interest, shut up. Don't say that's the word of the day is shut up.
Hell up.
Okay, got it.
Okay. You ready for it? You got a song now? Because it's rotational. You got time to think throughout the conversation, but...
No, I don't have anything. Because I'm, like, going through my playlist, and I'm like, what's related to this topic? And all of my songs are just...
Hold on. Let me... Baby, back away. You're thinking a little too hard.
Yeah. I have one song called Bend the Knee by Bruno Martini, Izza, and Timbaland.
Okay. Like I said, as long as you can just... It don't have to be a perfect, like, this is exactly the theme. You cannot argue with me. No one's going to.
And this song, it's a good... Like, I'm trying to think about the lyrics, but the song's basis is like, if you want me to do something, you better bend the knee to me.
I see where you're going with this. I see where you're going with this. I think I do.
Yes. Yeah. So if you want, like, I guess it could relate to the humbling of Black women in this playlist. It's like, if you want me to change the way I do stuff, you want me to change the way I do this and that, you bend the knee. You know, so it's a good song. I like it. So let me go look for the next one.
Okay. My next one is gonna be the timeless classic Me, Myself, and I. 'Cause realistically, to avoid getting canceled, if nothing else, like, you can have a whole team of people behind you, but it needs to start with you. Like, have that level of human decency, that level of consideration, that sensitivity, that mindfulness to look at what you're saying and maybe even empathize. If you have the capacity to do so, put yourself in someone else's position and go, you know, is there anyone that I may be punching down on unintentionally, even unintentionally? And I know it's a lot of mental labor for some people. And in the event that you were unable to, what's the word? In the event that you were unable to avoid punching down on someone on the back end, make sure you have enough, again, mindfulness, human decency, consideration, sensitivity to at least, again, own up to what you said and move from there. Because I maintain that it's too easy. And I promise you, if ever something comes up in the future and I fuck up, I want somebody to show me this clip. It's too easy. Because then I'ma drag me. You don't even gotta read me. Just play my clip. It's too easy, you dumb bitch. It's okay. I promise you, I'll be like, damn, I was right. I was right. Yep. I fucked up. I've got me, myself. Go on.
Is a self call out. So the song is called Josh by Peach PRC. If you haven't listened to the song, if you ever date a Josh and you can't stand that motherfucker and y'all break up, listen to this song. It'll make sure you hate him. Because it's basically how much of a piece of shit Josh is. And just stop calling you. So I always give that song anytime I start talking to someone new. I'm like, hey, listen to this song. It's got my name in it. And then if, let's say, things don't work out, you can play it.
Josh be like, wow. What are we for lifers? You're not getting rid of me, so hear this now.
No, that is such a Scorpio trait because it's like, I'm going to break up with you, but you're never going to forget me.
Sorry about it.
It's such a Scorpio trait.
Hey, remember me?
Yeah, remember me? Hey. What's up?
Show up at the fucking high school fucking reunion like, oh, hey there.
That's crazy. I think my next song is gonna be Beyonce related. If I can just get to the right album and figure out what the real word is. It's gonna be off the Lemonade album.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I feel like going back to humbling Black women, being that Black women are always sort of holding everybody else. It's hold up. They don't love you like I love you. Look down. They don't love you like I love you. Back up. They don't love you like I love you.
Step down.
Step down.
And occasionally sit down.
Did you see there's no other woman above you? Wait, there's no other man above you? What a wicked way to treat the girl that loves you.
No, seriously.
I mean, the way that they be treating us sometimes, I'm like, yo, do I really want to support you now? Like,
no, really though, that's a whole conversation of itself. Because every other business day on TikTok, you're always going around a whole nother conversation about them finding a reason to disrespect or spit in the face of a Black woman.
Right. So it's hold up. It's that's the song.
That's a good song. It absolutely is a good song. Yeah. My third song, funnily enough, is because no one actually realized this is a cautionary tale. Welcome to Hollywood from the B-Day album.
Oh yeah.
Like don't get caught up in the breeze of everything that's going on and get lost in it. Because she went down the whole list of people. Essentially, I'm not going to go down the whole list, but it's too many different people. All of them were ended by Hollywood. Mm-hmm. This industry is not here for any of us. They're here to get what they can from us. And then at the last moment, because it is a subsect of capitalism, when we are no longer useful to them, we are disposable. Not to say that even while we're useful, we're not disposable. Shit, Milli Vanilli wasn't even singing on stage, so just always keep that in mind. You could just be a voice.
Fun fact, they're making a series about them.
Ooh.
On Hulu, I believe.
Ooh.
They've already got their Milli and their Vanilli.
I'm gonna watch it.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Yeah, they're making a Milli Vanilli series. And I'm like, for what?
For why?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm like, okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah. You or Josh. Both of you haven't gone third.
Okay. You go first, Josh.
I'm gonna go with then UNITY by Queen Latifah.
Who you calling a bitch?
Listen, probably one of the best examples of like a call out. Like, hey, listen, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe if we're
Yeah.
supposed to love each other, maybe you shouldn't be doing these things. And maybe it also shouldn't be a big deal if I respond to you catcalling me and calling me out of my name.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to do an episode on pretty privilege because I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I have fallen victim to catcalling.
You've been. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't been catcalled as of lately, but when I was 16,
When he got a
17,
nice face and long hair.
No, when I was 16, 17, I've gotten catcalled by men in very large semi-trucks. And I'm covering them up now, but I am a very chesty girl. And at 16, 17, they were sitting very high. And I wasn't even wearing like a low-cut shirt, which is the crazy thing.
They
They're up here. So it was like, which is the crazy thing. I was wearing like a t-shirt and I was getting like, boo, boo, like, what's up, boo? And I was like, we're high school students. Pay attention to the road. But it was just, it was a lot.
It is a lot.
It was a lot. So my next song, I kind of wanted to be friends. So I feel like we should be more friendly to each other by the Carters off of the Everything Is Love album.
You realize that song ain't really about friends, right?
Yeah, but why not? It's
I mean, fair enough. I ain't gonna argue with you. I'm just, my brain, Beyonce is definitely real anti in that song, because the first thing that went through my brain. But I suppose when it comes to, maybe you don't need new friends, because sometimes if you think you are a good person, sometimes getting new friends will lead you astray.
Yeah, so it's, it's
a happy balance.
Happy balance between the two. So you can want new friends and not want new friends. Mm-hmm. In this case, I don't think I want new friends.
My song number 4 is also this. I promise this wasn't staged. It wasn't staged.
We're not judging you.
It was from the 4 album.
Uh-oh.
You see? Damn. You see how quickly she switched up on me? We're not judging you. Uh-oh.
No. I'm trying to think of what song you're going to use.
It was I Care.
Oh.
Again, she's sitting here actively pouring out about this consideration, and then, like...
Yeah.
Realistically... Don't find yourself in the space where you're on the receiving end of this song, one. Mm-hmm. But also, don't be Beyonce in this song, because if they not listening when the first time, or even if you've got enough grace in you to give them a second time to see if they care, don't give them a third.
Right.
I genuinely, like, I'm a circle the block a little bit. Up the street on the same avenue. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you.
J. Cole.
Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign, load the chopper and let it rain on you.
Let it rain on you.
He did his thing. But it's, again, circling back, and I've said it, I need to put up a counter to see how many times I've said this fucking word throughout this entire episode, but consideration. Which, if I wasn't sticking to my theme, it would have been an honorable mention. Consideration by Rihanna.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Who wants to go next for song number 4?
I'm going to go with Express Yourself by Diplo and Nicki DeB. Because I think all of us have heard every single possible accusation against Diplo. And I mean everything from screenshots to all types of stuff. And he still has a platform. Still. To this day. Still making songs with all types of people. Including some of our faves. Just throwing that out there.
You know, this water is delicious.
Well, I ran out of water, but I'm gonna put 10 trees. Water in my business. Just give me like 2 seconds. I need some more water.
Actually, that's fine. while you're getting water, I guess we got time. While Kay's getting water, because Kay got to give us song number 4. Can we talk about the disparity in how cancel culture actually works? Because we got the resounding voices of people who actively want to cancel people, but it's not to a point where, again, they've proven themselves either irrefutably cancelable or at the point where they're just no longer useful to society that they begin being disposed of. Like, it's annoying to say it, but too many different, both female comics and women in general, have come out about Louis C.K. for him to still be in the industry. But he is.
Oh, boy.
Alternatively, you've got Harvey Weinstein, where I feel like, sure, he may still be useful, but he's not useful enough for them to hold on to him. So he was an easily discarded public figure to say, hey, see, this system's actually working, when in reality, it's not.
Because it's way too late. Way too late.
It's long time ago. But, you know. We jokingly call him Bill Cosby, but even still, even on the black end of things, it's still a bit too late, and that's a problem.
And that's the other thing, is like, the other thing that sort of bothers me about our community, the black community, is like everybody's still sort of supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
And R. Kelly, they're like, oh, they're just trying to ruin this man's career. Like,
no, he did terrible
ruined
things.
His career by himself. He did that all by himself. They both did that by themselves.
What's more is, I don't know if Amanda Seales initially said it or if this was her original thought, but I know I heard it from her. Within the black community, I'm finding that black people don't want to be held accountable. They want to be given the same privileges as white people. So, like, if a white man can get away with the fuck shit that he be doing, we want to be able to do the same fuck shit as white men. No, I don't think anyone should be doing this fuck shit is the reality of the situation. And it becomes even more deplorable when you're trying to excuse the behaviors because white men are doing it. It's not okay. It's not even remotely feasible.
Right.
But, do you want to take a swig of your water first, or are you ready with your song number 4?
Yeah, I got my coconut water because my eyes twitching again.
Coconut water.
Oh, electrolytes.
No. It's coconut water isn't bad. It's one of those things that I have to have my mouth set and ready for, because if it assaults my tongue before I'm ready, I promise you it's coming right back out.
Lemon juice. Lemon juice to combat the aftertaste. No, I'm dead serious. I have lemon juice in here.
Okay.
Mine is This Is America, because I know.
No, I'm not mad at you. No, I'm not mad at you. That's not. You better go off.
Yeah, like This Is America. It's he just talks about everything. Like the video when he's also a bit of a marketing genius, because he was on SNL when the video came out.
Yes.
And I remember one scene specifically where the gun was on like a royal red pillow, and how
in the church, I think, right?
In a church or something like that. That was the one thing that sort of popped up in my brain. But I'm like, this is
so well done.
This is how we do things. This is America. Like, don't check your equipment on it. Like, it makes sense to me to put this on the list.
But as long as you got cool little black kids doing their cool little hype dance, everything will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So This Is America is my number 4.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now that circles us to number 5. I'm going for a 2 first. So technically, you get 6 songs from me. My actual song is gonna be "Yes" by Beyonce, because again, it's a matter of. It's a matter of a lot of people have also gotten canceled too for taking a stand, because a lot of people don't like dissent. A lot of people are looking for communities, or alternately people who only like completely listen to their community. We don't like people who actually have personalities and opinions, or alternately those who have personalities and opinions. We don't like those who actually find that oh, I thought we were perfect, in perfect alignment. There seems to be some sort of like dissonance within our resonating. What's going on here? We not clicking like we used to. We used to fit like this, and now we sort of here. What's going on? There are gaps here. People don't like that. So the first time I said no, it's like I never said yes, because people will write you off just as quickly. And I think that says more about how, again, do I think cancel culture actually works? No. Do I think that we should stop cancel culture? Also no. Because I think in theory it's a good system. In actual practice it isn't. I think, it comes to that matter of implementing that level of mindfulness and accountability. But again, the fun number 6 song, because they can't all be so...
Right.
Fun number 6, America Has a Problem. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm not even gonna lie. When the title track, when the track list came out for Renaissance, I was like, "What does America Have a Problem gonna be like?"
This must be some real deep call them out type.
Not at all. Right.
America has a problem. Me.
Me.
Like,
it's me.
No, I love that. I love that entirely because, like, imagine after Lemonade and all of the music Beyonce's given us, another commentary track. This, especially with the long list of all these different feel-good songs on here, it just wouldn't fit.
Yeah, so I was like, what? Because I don't know why I wasn't thinking about the direction that she was going to have this album, especially when she put out Break My Soul. I didn't know what she was going to be doing. And I should have known because everybody's like, oh, she's working with this house artist. She's working with this house DJ. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be house. So I'm like, well, what is America going to have? America Has a Problem. Like, what is that going to sound like? Like, you know, I'm curious.
I was very pissed off when the internet tried to write off the album and basically get the album shut down. They were going to fail. It was Beyonce. But they were trying to get the album shut down or, like, loosen the hype around it when everyone's like, there's 79 artists on the album, as if they don't understand how samples work.
Right.
Which a lot of them don't, but...
And that one writer came after her, and we was like, "Oh, girl,
Diane Warren or something."
Yeah, we was like, "Girl, not today."
Writers like, "Girl, you're trying to get some credit."
The Dream dragged her very tastefully, and I love that.
Yeah, he did. He was like,
"See, in our culture, if you knew about our culture."
So that looks funny to me. I'll go next. And this is like my feel good, but also stand in your truth sort of song. I don't know if you guys knew that she put it out. It's Niggas Got Me Fucked Up by Amanda Seales.
Yes, I do know Niggas Got Me Fucked Up. Ooh, niggas got me fucked up.
I love that song because sometimes you just need it. Sometimes you just need somebody to just be like, you know, or that one song where you're like, this will calm me down. Because I have had a weekend so far, not to get into the great detail of it, but I've had to deal with one particular person that just refuses to shut her face and let anybody help her. And I'm like, you're lucky I'm doing this. You know, you're lucky I'm even doing somebody else's job.
I don't have to be here right now.
I don't. I could have left your ass in the lobby to sit there, and you could have called the cops to bring you to your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to let the masses know, I am a super at an independent elderly apartment building, so I have to deal with a lot of elderly.
Girl, fuck them overgrown kids.
Overgrown is the word, because my God. But yeah, that's the song that got me calmed down because I was very much ready to go to jail.
Say it with me. Not today, not the one. Fucked up. Yes. Ooh. I love that she sings it at the end of her fucking comedy specials. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But, Josh, song number 5.
Song number 5 is going to have to be by our lovely, wonderful, talented Megan Thee Stallion.
Ew.
Who me for this bar and this bar only, I feel like Biggie, who shot you? But everybody knows who shot me, bitch.
Not Traumazine. You better know your Megan, baby.
Listen.
You better know your Megan.
That line alone, with the whole album was perfect for that line. That's it. That's all it took. That one line, wow. Whole album.
Made it. Right there.
Why you tired? Playing up in her face. She showed y'all everything. Now you faking it. Now you doing this. Really? Really?
Why was she fake getting shot? Don't nobody want to be shot.
Things.
And then they're like, so then why'd you lie? Because I thought we were cool, but this nigga was playing in my face.
Again, hold up. They don't love you like I love you. That's a good song. That's a good song.
Welcome to Hollywood.
I will say, she was in the last episode of She-Hulk, and let me just say, best thing I have seen all week.
I love that whole clip. Dial it down.
Dial it down. But it was so good, and it was so in line, because I'm not a comic book reader. I will automatically admit that. But knowing that the material of who She-Hulk is, like, that was so in line with what she is and what she does. I was like, her twerking, I have no problem with it.
Not even remotely.
None whatsoever.
It made sense, especially considering she was there to be a client. I'm glad she was there to be a cameo. What were you expecting? Right. If she was an actual character, I think that's what people wanted. They wanted to know if she was going to be an actual character. And no, I feel like we would have already known that before She-Hulk came out, if she's going to be an actual character in the series. She was there to make a cameo. Calm your ass down.
And the woman that's playing She-Hulk is a huge, huge fan of Megan Thee Stallion.
I will kill for you.
They told her 2 days before that they were gonna let her know, because they felt like she was gonna be kind of tonic if she had knew that day.
Ahead of time,
because he is a huge, huge Megan Thee Stallion fan. So everything that was said, even though that was a line written into the script, her saying, "I would kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion," is probably very true for that actress. So it said, "I would kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion." I'm like, I would too. I would absolutely too.
Absolutely. Time and place.
Time, place, let me know. I'll get the black on, ski mask. I'll make sure I won't leave no DNA behind, no fingerprints. I will burn my fingerprints like they did in the Men in Black, just for you.
This is going on the internet. Maybe not so loud.
Okay, it's just,
It's Megan. I get it. But for legal reasons, it's a joke, everybody.
But yes, that was a great moment in that episode too.
All right. And with that, we go to our second to the last segment, because we're almost out of here, guys. Yay! But this is the hardest segment, arguably, because it's turning a new leaf. But with this specific episode, I feel like it's going to be hard, because it's a piece of advice about this week's topic, but we've been advising people this entire time because all of us have seemingly managed to stay out of trouble.
Right.
Not that it's hard with regards to this topic, but like, what can we say that we haven't already said? So for me, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm not gonna say anything I haven't already said, but I'm gonna do something that is incredibly important. I know that I am going to be successful. It's not a question of if, it's a matter of when, and it's gonna happen soon, because bitch, I'm manifesting it. But in the event that I fuck up, and I'm talking to me, I'm looking directly into the camera because I'm talking to future me. In the event that I fuck up, bitch, get it together. Get yourself together. Remember who I am. Remember who you are. Remember who you used to be, because we right here. And act like you got some sense, because it costs you nothing to respect that one, and even if you don't like that one too, it costs you nothing. It's no skin off your back. And on top of it being no skin off your back, it really, like, in the grand scheme of things, it does you more good. Because why are you upsetting the universe for? Why? You got better things to do. More money to make, better choices to be had. Also, don't do, like, in the event that you in the future aren't as successful as I think we're going to be currently, don't Macy Gray yourself. Because, like, you don't know what happened with Macy Gray, do you?
Oh. No, I remember.
Oh, okay. Yes. Seriously, I loved Macy Gray. I loved Macy Gray to the world and back. I try to say goodbye and I choke. I try to walk away and I stumble. You know, I try to hide it. It's clear. I walk, my welcome to you are not here. I love my Macy Gray impression. I love her. I've always loved her from her cameo on Spider-Man, where she was doing the impromptu concert. Like, stop playing with me. I love me some Macy Gray, but she apparently doesn't love me the way that I love her. What did you need to spit in my face for? Unprovoked, because not like anyone specifically asked you about that. That wasn't the question.
That's what makes it worse.
No, seriously.
The question. Like,
maybe you could have. How did we get here? Who wants to spearhead this one? Who you got advice for? Be it you, somebody else, the general masses, somebody who did it already, who could have listened to it.
All right. If your modus operandi for growth is to break others down, you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem. We cannot say, please give me some grace, if we are not going to give others the same amount of grace to grow. The same way I didn't realize all the stuff I realized today took me years, and it's going to take me more years to keep it up. You have to allow the same stuff for other people.
You better get your lay on me claps. Let me just...
I guess my advice would be to everybody is to just be more conscious of what you say. Be more aware of what you say. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, you want to be real. You want to be able to say what you want to say. But words have consequences. My mother has instilled in me, very almost annoyingly, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And every action that you take, whether it be today, 5 minutes from now, next week, 10 years from now,
whatever
or the case on your deathbed,
right,
the consequence of your action is going to come back to you, and it's going to hurt. So unless you do something negative. Now, if you do something good, then it's going to come back and it's going to just, be the most amazing, stupendous thing that has ever happened to you in your life. Good or bad, just be mindful of how you use your words and how you treat people. Because God knows karma is a real thing. She can be quite the bitch, and we don't want to be on her bad side. We want good karma. Evil karma is the one that got hit by the house and you stole her red shoes. Like, just don't do it.
Well, with that, I think we've reached the end of the episode, everyone. It has been me, your host, Tabla Rosa, aka La Roza Negra, or Black Rose if you're nasty. You already know where to find me at all things. If you don't know where to find me on all things, I will have my lovely links hyperlinked in the description of every episode, but especially this one too. But where can we find the two of you?
I am on Instagram at the same name. I changed my Instagram name. It was German Cocoa Puff, but now I've changed it to K Scorpio. I am actively thinking about making a change into stream. So when I decide it's your fault, Ochi, I will give you all the blame for that one.
What I do? Inspire
people. That's what you did. I guess I'll have more information on that and maybe make a professional Instagram account. I don't know. But yeah, you can just find me on my Instagram. And that's it. Be nice. I don't like mean people. And no D pics, please. Thank you.
Also that part.
That part. Like, no.
You can send them to me, but understand I will hurt your feelings. I promise you, there's not a penis in the world. That's
send them to me.
You have 2 options to send them to, just not to me. Thank you.
Would you go and get your feelings hurt?
Pan directly into the camera. Send them this way if you so choose. There are consequences. This has been so much fun. Josh, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm joshing you. On TikTok, it's with a 0, so IMJ0, SHING, the letter U. On Instagram, I'm joshing you, just a regular O, not a 0 with a U at the end.
I will go ahead and make sure I plug both of these so that we can find you appropriately. Like I said, I will have all of my details available in the description. These episodes are always, for those of you watching, I've forgot to mention them in previous episodes, and for that I do apologize. These episodes will be available on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Pacific on Patreon on Wednesdays, and then on the subsequent Saturdays at noon on YouTube. I'm encouraging Patreon because Patreon deserves to get it first and foremost. But also, Patreon's going to be getting an uncensored version of this because, some bleeping has to happen for this to go to YouTube. As always, I've had a blast. I say it everywhere, and Kay kind of just said it, but I'm going to go ahead and close. Spread love, go in peace, and remember karma is real, everybody. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
And that is a wrap!